Right, hey there! Now, the basis of this video is again to provide you with a lot of value. Alright, so here goes. 15 fundamental traits that have been known to be in the world's top class entrepreneurs. So, reflect to yourself whether these apply to you, or are there some areas in this that you really do need to examine, and whether you do give your all to what has been seen to be the most successful traits in the most successful people in the world. So here goes number one. The business is a top 3 priority in the life of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. Top 3, guys. Okay? Ask yourself whether you do place your business, your enterprise, as the top 3 most important things that you give time to within the day. Number 2, you have... Actually, I'm going to come back and actually give you a few examples. So just to show you, just to kind of give you an idea of how, what I mean by top 3 priorities. Now, it's known that Elon Musk, for example, works over 100 hours a week on his business. And even if his wife says that he's insanely obsessed with his business. Gary Vaynerchuk works from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. in his business. You've got Elizabeth Holmes, who's not so much you could say like a mainstream name, but a lady who's worth $4.6 billion. One of the youngest self-made ladies ever. It's known that in her fridge there's absolutely nothing. She even eats at work and completely consumed by work. She had no relationships, so a partner or anything like that. But this just gives you an idea of what people or billionaires or the biggest entrepreneurs in the world have to sacrifice. Number 2, they know their market intimately well. Okay, so you got an example I'm going to give you in about like Garrett Camp, who came up with the idea of Uber, and you know what a big name it is. I mean, Uber 5 years ago, who knew there would be anything like Uber? But this guy finds out what is needed in the market and he addresses it better than anyone else. And look at what Uber has done. It has literally disrupted the market and created its own place, and minicab is nowadays known by Uber. Right, so this gives you an idea. If he knew, all he knew was what the market needed. So when you give the market what it truly needs, you're ahead of everyone else. Number 3, you've got metrics. Okay, so metrics basically means that your numbers. Do you know your numbers really well in your business? The cash in that comes in, the cash that goes out, the overheads, everything. Do you have a daily check of how your business carries over day-to-day running? And that is essential that you have absolute. I mean, give you some of the examples again, like cash in, cash out. You got gross sales versus previous best months, yearly projections. So keeping a tab on all of these things will give you a very clear idea as to whether you're doing well or you're doing badly. But then it also gives you the idea of what you need to improve. What gets measured gets improved, guys. Then you have number 5, a willingness to make short-term losses while proving their idea. Okay, here you've got you look at, what I'd say is you look at any of the big guys and people like J.K. Rowling, for example. It was a lot of sacrifice in short term, or while she actually made a point about writing Harry Potter and taking it from publisher to publisher, while she was refused, not given a chance to prove the success, and then eventually getting that chance. Up to that point, the time she was spending in trying to back herself and her novel, her writing, her idea, that would have costed her so much, in the sense that she used to still be a single mom, who used to not even have enough money to pay her energy bills and have a warm enough house. This is the kind of short-term losses people go through. She could have easily given that idea away, and just gone out there, look for a job where she would have given all her time to basically make sure that in short term her child, herself, they had basic amenities. But it was the will and resolution to make sure that her idea was, she backed it completely, and in short term she had a hard time, but now who doesn't know J.K. Rowling's? So you've got that. And then number 6, no, they only know one speed, fast. So entrepreneurs will generally love to move fast with their idea. When they have a vision, they want to implement it, they want to get things done, and they want to move to the next level. They want to prove their idea, they want to try again, see what works, see what hasn't worked, and then implement again. So they love to move fast with what they've got in their head. Number 7, relentless in pursuing their goals. You and me both know. Perseverance, persistence, whatever you may call it, that has to be there. But they are absolutely, unforgivable on that part. Unforgivable. Again, J.K. Rowling's persistence of just making sure she just kept at it with all the publishers that turned her down. Kenneth Cole, the fashion designer, who actually made a point about being very creative in, having a show that was contest that was taking place, fashion contest, which he wasn't allowed to enter to present his idea. He made a point about, again, getting around it by getting a license and putting a truck outside there with his garments. This is all about being relentless in pursuit of what you're looking for. Then you've got number 8, shameless promoters, right? Businessmen, entrepreneurs who go for something, they will be the most shameless promoters of their product, because it's the belief again, it's the fact that they know what it offers to the market, and they'll back it more than 100% at times, right? And we know that's true, right? I mean, you have to be almost, like it says, someone, when you talk about why would someone refuse an offer, they have to be completely crazily obsessed, insanely obsessed with what they're offering to be able to make it work better than anyone else. Okay? So again, the next one is the relationship with time is very different to that of the average person. So whereas an average person might think generally that they've got all the time in the world to get things done, almost taking time for granted, entrepreneurs will never take time for granted. The self-discipline that they show within how they go about it, what they do within the day, is immensely far-reaching, far above than what an average person does. Just to give you an example of the CEO of Twitter, Jake Dorsett, who in 8 hours a day with each company, he's got 2 companies he'll run. So he's a CEO of Square and a CEO of Twitter. So he'll give 8 hours a day with each company. So 16 hours he'll basically give a day to both of those companies. That is what their life is all about. Do you think how organized Jack would have to be to go through from one nature of the business to the other and then make both of them work at the peak amount of pressure that anyone in his position would be, bearing in mind both of those positions are exactly the same, being the chief executive officer of Twitter and Square. Right, the next one, they change the rules of the game. Okay, they change the rules of the game, guys. Why? Again, it's the disruption. It's evolution versus revolution. They say that people who will go with almost who finesse the idea, who will really fine-tune an idea that's already out there, they'll become millionaires. But the revolutionists, the people who actually bring disruption to the market with their ideas, they create a whole new trend, they'll be the billionaires of the market. They'll be the most successful out there in terms of fortune, in terms of what they offer, and kudos that goes with it. Again, giving an example, Uber. the idea of having any mini cab driver that's around the corner from your street that can come in and give you a lift. It's the disruption that created. It's what made Uber worth billions of dollars in such a small amount of time. Again, you got other examples like Udemy, who don't do any courses of theirs, right? But on the net, as professional qualifications go, they're one of the biggest names. You've got Netflix, who pretty much took Blockbuster, who were not ready to change at all, out of the business. Next one, guys, is competitive drive. They have a almost limitless competitive drive. They just always compete against themselves. They always want to be the best, relentlessly. Again, all of that qualities. That's what you gotta bring. They think on a bigger scale than normal people. I know it's obvious, but again, think about it. They have to think on a bigger scale. Do you looking at this video, do you think on a bigger scale than a normal person? You gotta be able to judge yourself against these traits. Okay. Number 13, you have lifetime learners. So even Elon Musk, I read a small story where he said that Elon Musk was again, I can't remember the name of this gentleman, but he was in a party and he noticed how Elon Musk kept on asking him questions. And at the end, but when Elon Musk moved away, this guy realized that Elon Musk knew everything about him, but he never got the chance to really know about Elon Musk. And that's what they're all about. They just want to take a lot of they like to take a lot of value, and they're always interested in learning. They never think that they're above learning. They're always very open to knowing more about people, more about ideas, more about the change around them, more about what is there, and what they could make a difference to. Number 14, they understand human behavior. So they understand emotional intelligence. Okay? And it's known that high earners have high emotional intelligence. And what that means is that what you'll see normally in, and you may have seen it, like, people who would be base level employees or anyone in that kind of regard generally tend to be very emotional. They show a lot of mood or emotion towards what they do. So what that does, though, guys, so what that does is that it basically makes them very susceptible to changing circumstances. And when they walk into work, something's out of the shape, they'll feel like their day has gone bad, the whole day has been affected. But entrepreneurs, normally it takes a lot for them to be taken out of their stride. So their emotional intelligence is really high. They always are very self-aware of what their likes and dislikes are, and not only that, but they are very much on a guard to make sure that their focus doesn't get broken with the shifts and changes in their everyday lives or what other people bring to them. And the last one, number 15, is they are eternal optimists. Are you an eternal optimist? Do you always see the positive in whatever life throws at you? And that's what it is all about. Every moment is spent being optimistic so that whatever time they have is always gone into a creative solution to whatever problem life brings them. I hope you found value in this. Connect. Let me know what you think. Alright? Take care.